Hi, this is Feline Wang bringing you the live coverage of Formula 3 Asian Championship here at Dubai Autodrome for the 6th race of season 2020. And this morning, during the race 2, we experienced some raining condition. But now the rain stopped and it's getting all the cars are getting the slick tire. But while I'm talking right now and the rain starts dropping again, so it's getting more and more interesting for the race. But before the race starts, let's have a quick look of last round highlight. 各位观众，那么即将进行的呢是第6场的比赛。在比赛开始之前呢，我们先来回顾一下上一回昨天的一些精彩集锦。
Hello everybody and welcome back to Dubai for race 3 of round 2 of the 2020 F3 Asian Championship here at the Dubai Autodrome. And as Feline said earlier, there's a few spots of rain just appearing again. This morning we had a very, very wet race. All the cars on those wet tyres, lots of standing water all over the track and the cars having to tiptoe very gingerly around. The rain had stopped. And now it's just started again, just a little bit. So it'll be very interesting to see exactly what tyres everybody's going to use. A big leap into the unknown as we have a look at this Dubai Autodrome. 5.39 kilometres long, a long back straight there, a tight, twisty section towards the back of the circuit. And then turn 9, the left-hander leads onto this very, very long back straight. The sharp right-hand hairpin at turn 10, a good overtaking opportunity. And turn 14, the left-hander, that's proved to be a scene of much drama and action so far this weekend here at Dubai. And none of the cars back on the grid yet. We see the tyres there just being readied. I wonder if the cars and the drivers and teams are not quite sure which tyres to run. It did seem as if they were going to run the slick tyres because we'd had a good bit of a good dry spell between the end of race 2 earlier today and the start of race 3. But just in the last few minutes, the rain has picked up again. And it really is a leap into the unknown. It already was very much a leap into the unknown for many of the drivers here, for whom this was their first time racing at the Dubai Autodrome. It doesn't rain very often in Dubai, and so this morning's race in the rain really was into the lap of the gods. No one really knew quite how things were going to go, and it's testament to the drivers, really, that a lot of them, the vast majority of them, managed to stay on the island, nobody spinning off into the barriers, nobody making contact with each other, and all of them managing to finish the race, apart from two, Alessio De Leda and Ukio Sasahara, and in both those cases, that was not due to any sort of accident or driver error. That was simply a mechanical issue. But anyway, the drivers now making their way to the grid, and it'll be very interesting to see what tyres they have on, whether they've got those slick tyres on or whether they're going for the treaded rain tyres once again. It does seem as if all of the grid spots there you can see have an extra set of tyres waiting for them. I wonder if that's just to see, well, here we have the pole man, Ukio Sasahara. Now, he's got the slick tyres on his car, but I wonder if those rain tyres there at the side, and that is Pietro Fittipaldi, who is in third place on the grid. He's got those rain tyres ready as well. I wonder if everybody's just going to see how the next few minutes progress, whether this rain gets any heavier. You can see a few people milling about with umbrellas on the grid. It doesn't look as if there's any standing water there as we can see the track, and it does appear as if there's some dry patches emerging as we look at Jake Hughes, who is in second position on the grid. But yes, literally almost all the cars have those wet tyres ready to go on at a moment's notice if indeed they do need to make that change. There is Pietro Fittipaldi sitting in third position. He didn't have a very happy time of things in this morning's race, only finishing 13th. But Ukio Sasahara, the pole man, he's down there, and let's hear from him now with Feline.
Hi, Ukio. So I can see now your team going to change to the white tire again, right? And so can you tell me what is your team's strategy so far?
I don't know, to be honest. Like now it started raining, so maybe we change to the wet, maybe we stay on the dry. So I think we will decide on the last minute to see, which tire we will go for it. So hopefully we could have a light tire. So yeah, that's it.
OK， 那刚刚我问到呢，就是因为可以看到，你看他们现在已经开始马上要换轮胎了，因为现在其实这个雨况非常的小，但是每个 team 呢都会有他们不同的一个策略。那Ukio呢，他自己也讲到呢，他这边呢也是希望能有一个，他也不知道他自己的现在有一个什么样的决策，不过呢，希望还是可以用这个干胎来比赛，这样的话呢，可以有一个更好的比赛结果。Back to you guys.
Well, Ukio Sasahara, I think, vocalizing what all the drivers and teams must be thinking. No one really knows exactly what's going to happen, whether they're going to start on the dry tyres or whether they're going to change to the wet tyres. And if we look there, you can see Joey Alders. He's in fourth place on the grid, and his car is up on the jacks there. So clearly his mechanics getting ready to change those tyres if they need to at a moment's notice. That is Yu Kanemaru. He is in ninth position on the grid. Doesn't look as if he's up on his jacks, but there is, you can see Pietro Fittipaldi in third place on the grid in that red car. One of his mechanics there having a close look at one of his tyres. That is Devlin De Francesco, the Italo-Canadian driver. He is starting in 10th position on the grid. He's still got slick tyres on. Doesn't look as if his mechanics are making a change. I can't see any mechanics actually changing tyres onto those wets just yet. A bit difficult to see from up here, but doesn't look as if there's any tyres being changed just yet. It feels as if the drivers are just going to tiptoe around, hope this rain doesn't get any worse. Well, Jake Hughes, who was on pole position for yesterday's race, this morning's race rather, is in second position now, and he's down there with Feline.
Hey, Jack, and I see you start from P2 and with your teammate Ukio on your side. So what will be your strategy for this race?
Well, now it's spitting, so we're not sure how the rain is going to develop through the race. At the moment, I think it should be dry enough to keep pushing the whole way. In that case, I think it will decide after the start what is likely to happen between the teammates. But if it continues to rain, then things might change.
Good luck. 刚刚我问到那个Jack 休斯呢，他是从第2位发车，而且同时他的队友Ukio是从头位发车。他现在呢，刚才我看到他们的整个车队呢，把雨胎拿出来之后，然后又放了回去。目前呢是一个希望是一会儿是一个 干的环境，一个干的赛道来进行比赛。他也提到呢，起步非常的重要，他也会保持好和他的队友的距离。Back to you guys.
Well, there may be some interesting team tactics at play there because Ukyo Sasahara and Jake Hughes, both teammates, both racing for High-Tech Grand Prix. Now, Ukyo Sasahara was the winner of last season's F3 Asian Championship. He's only competing this weekend as a guest driver, so he's not eligible for championship points. And I wonder if we might see some team tactics at play here, whether Sasahara will let Jake Hughes go into the lead early on in this race, and whether he, Sasahara, will then try to back the pack up so that Jake Hughes can get into a good lead early into the race. So plenty of interesting tactics potentially at play there with Sasahara and Hughes, and indeed Nikita Mazepin, the other High-Tech Grand Prix driver. He's starting 6th on the grid, but if he gets a good start and can overtake a few cars, then he could come into play at the front of the field as well. Everybody making their way off the track now, all the tyres being taken in. Doesn't look as if anybody's changed onto wet tyres just yet. Everyone going to tiptoe around on slicks. One of them is Pietro Fittipaldi in 3rd place, and let's hear what he's got to say about the upcoming race.
Hey Pietro, what will be your approach for this race?
Well, to do our best. You know, we've had some tough previous races, haven't been able to finish where we deserve, so we're going to work hard and try to finish on the podium.
Good luck. Yeah. 刚刚我问到 Pietro 呢，他今天的比赛有一个什么样的计划？他也提到呢，他这个竞争呢一直都是非常的激烈，他也一直没有拿到一个特别好的成绩，他也希望呢今天在比赛可以拿到领奖台的位置。Back to you guys.
Yes, Pietro Fittipaldi has been very unlucky so far in this season's F3 Asian Championship, failing to score any points in the first 3 races at Sepang in Malaysia. And getting off the mark in race 4 yesterday, scoring some championship points, but then only finishing in 13th place in this morning's race after having a little tangle with Ukyo Sasahara and having to pit for a new front wing. But he's in a much better place at the moment, 3rd on the grid, and you heard from him there, he wants to finish on the podium. Says that he's not had the results that he deserves so far this season, so let's see if he can have better things today, this afternoon, here at Dubai. Everybody off the track almost now. We're getting ready for 30 minutes of racing around this 5.39 kilometre Dubai Autodrome. Plenty of action so far this weekend. And despite the fact that there are some spots of rain, you can see there's very much a dry line emerging there. Much, much drier than it was in this morning's race 5. The track temperature is quite cool at the moment, 23 degrees and 21 degrees air temperature. So not a very warm track at the moment, and with all the rain that we've had, the track is going to be somewhat green, which is a term used in motorsport to describe a track which has not got a lot of grip and not got a lot of rubber. Usually by this point in a race weekend, there's been lots of cars laying down rubber on the racing line, and that helps the cars grip and gives them extra traction. But with all the rain we've had, that's washed away any rubber that may have been laid down. So very much a leap into the unknown, as Ukyo Sasahara told us earlier. Everybody getting ready now. 17 cars on the grid. Ukyo Sasahara on pole position. Jake Hughes lining up alongside him in 2nd position on the grid. All the way down to Thomas Ludi in 17th place, bringing up the rear. The last runner and the 2nd of the 2 Masters category drivers, along with Paul Wong, who lines up 15th. So Sasahara on pole position. Jake Hughes in 2nd place. Pietro Fittipaldi in 3rd position. Joey Alders, who won this morning's race and is leading the championship now with 108 points. He lines up 4th on the grid. And Jack Doohan, who had a titanic battle in the last few laps, or the last lap, with Nikita Mazepin and Jake Hughes, was absolutely flying in the latter portion of this morning's race. He'd fallen down to 12th position, but worked his way up. He was the man on the move in the last few stages of the race and overtook both Mazepin and Hughes on the final lap to take 3rd position, and he looked very, very pleased with his morning's work. He lines up 5th on the grid, with Mazepin in 6th.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So the car's peeling off now for 1 formation lap. There'll just be the 1 formation lap as usual. We had 2 formation laps for this morning's race because of the unusually wet conditions, just to allow the drivers a little bit more time to get used to the conditions and also in the hope that 17 cars going around the track may disperse some of that water. Confirmation then that Ukyo Sasahara is on pole position. His teammate Jake Hughes alongside him in second place on the grid. They share the first row here this afternoon in Dubai. Third place on the grid, going much better than he has in recent races, Pietro Fittipaldi for Pinnacle Motorsport, and alongside him, Joey Alders, the winner of this morning's race and still the championship leader. They share row 2. Row 3 is Jack Doohan in the number 7 Pinnacle Motorsport car in 5th position after his storming drive to 3rd place in this morning's race. He's alongside Nikita Mazepin, the 3rd of the high-tech Grand Prix entries. 7th on the grid is Yu Kuai in the Zen Motorsport car, and the Chinese driver is partnered on row 4 by Jamie Chadwick in the Absolute Racing. She starts in 8th place. Yu Kanemaru of Japan for Black Arts Racing will line up 9th on the grid alongside Devlin De Francesco. For Absolute Racing, the Canadian-Italian driver fills row 5 with Yu Kanemaru. Tommy Smith in 11th place on the grid, also racing for the Absolute Racing squad, and he is alongside Alessio De Leda, another of the high-tech Grand Prix entries, unfortunately had to retire from this morning's race, and we'll be hoping for better things this afternoon. There's Amaury Cordial. He starts 13th, the Belgian driver, a guest driver this weekend, not eligible for points, and he's alongside the Colombian driver Tatiana Calderon in row 7. Paul Wong in 15th place and first in the Masters category, alongside Sebastian Fernandez, who had a good run to 2nd place earlier on in this morning's race. He lines up 16th, and it'll be interesting to see him looking to make his way through the field early on. And Thomas Ludi, 17th and last, 2nd in the Masters category. The Swiss driver racing under the Hong Kong flag brings up the rear here this afternoon. At the front of the field, it's all about this man, Ukyo Sasahara. Jake Hughes, his teammate behind him, in 2nd place. Pietro Fittipaldi in 3rd place. The Brazilian driver will be hoping for a much better showing this afternoon. He feels that he's not been able to show what he's truly capable of, and he wants a podium finish here today. Ukyo Sasahara rounds that last corner, turn 16 of this 5.4 kilometer circuit, a long circuit by F3 standards. Sasahara's pole time 1 minute 52.837. And let's see if the drivers can get anything approaching that sort of lap time here this afternoon. We'll be expecting much quicker running than this morning, where obviously the running was curtailed somewhat by heavy rain. All of the drivers just pulling into their pit boxes now. It's a standing start, as it often is with open wheel racing, not a rolling start like you see with GT racing. All the drivers on their marks. The 5 red lights will go on, and then when the 5 red lights go off, we will go racing for half an hour here at the Dubai Autodrome. Everybody pulling up now. It looks as if Thomas Ludi, the last driver, is in place. The green flag is waving. The red lights will be on shortly. There they are. And the red lights are off, and we're racing again once more here at the Dubai Autodrome. Sasahara looks as if he's got a good start. Jake Hughes still in 2nd place. Fittipaldi holding on to 3rd place. Joey Alders looking racy behind Fittipaldi. Several of the cars going line astern here, but as they come through the first corner, and Jake Hughes takes the lead. Jake Hughes into the lead. It looks as if he might have gone a bit wide. Can he make it through in 1st place? Sasahara in 2nd place. It looks as if Jake Hughes has made that stick. So I wonder if that was Jake Hughes making a better start, or was it Sasahara letting him by? But at the moment, it looks as if Jake Hughes is in the lead. And into 2nd position there, well, Pietro Fittipaldi looks as if he's been crowded out a little bit. He's down to 4th, just going off onto the escape road there in that red car. Very difficult to see exactly who's who at the moment. A lot of those cars look very similar from this sort of distance. I think Jake Hughes is still in the lead. It looks as if Sasahara is in 3rd place. Now, who's that in 2nd position? As Pietro Fittipaldi there in 4th place. And Mazepin going up the inside of Fittipaldi. You can see him kicking up the dust there. And the number 7 car, Jack Doohan, is up into 2nd position from 5th on the grid. So a great start there. Fittipaldi losing places there. It looks as if he's down to about 6th place now as they come through the turn 10 hairpin. Now this is turn 11, the left-hander, before the climb to turn 12. Jake Hughes in the lead, Jack Doohan in 2nd position, Sasahara down to 3rd, and looks like Joey Alders in 4th place there. Mazepin in 5th position and challenging Joey Alders. Pietro Fittipaldi down to 6th. There is Jake Hughes, the race leader, as they come down to turn 14. Plenty of action there earlier on this weekend, but Jake Hughes gets through there cleanly, as does Jack Doohan, as does Ukio Sasahara. And Joey Alders, it looks like, is into 4th position, ahead of Nikita Mazepin in 5th place. Pietro Fittipaldi down into 6th position as they come round the final corner at turn 16 to start lap 2 here in Dubai. Jake Hughes in the lead, Jack Doohan 2nd, Sasahara 3rd, Alders in 4th place, Mazepin in 5th position, Pietro Fittipaldi in 6th place. One of the cars going very much to the inside line there, and is that one of them? Oh, there's a bit of contact there. That's the 23 car? That is the 23 car of Joey Alders, and looks as if there may have been contact there with Nikita Mazepin. Well, we'll have to wait and see. This is the battle for the lead. This is Jake Hughes in the lead, Jack Doohan in 2nd place, Sasahara in 3rd position. Pietro Fittipaldi looks as if he's made it up into 5th place, so perhaps Joey Alders and Mazepin tangling a little bit there. It looked as if there was a bit of a conflab between those two. We couldn't quite see. It was just out of shot. But anyway, let's have a look as they come through. Yes, Mazepin there in 4th place. Fittipaldi in the red car in 5th position. It looks as if Joey Alders is just behind in 6th place as they come onto the long back straight up to the tight turn 10 hairpin. Let's see if we can see the numbers. That looks like Joey Alders going for a little look up the inside. Fittipaldi. Yes, that is Joey Alders, the 23 car in 6th position. The 17th car of Devlin De Francesco is up in 7th place, up from 10th on the grid. So De Francesco making some good places early on in the race. Fittipaldi in 5th place, Joey Alders in 6th, De Francesco in 7th place. It looks as if Yu Kanemaru is in 8th place, Jamie Chadwick showing in 9th place, and Amaury Cordial rounding out the top 10 for the time being. Amaury Cordial up from 13th place on the grid, so the Belgian driver making up some useful places. There is Joey Alders. That's the battle for 5th, 6th, 7th. All of those absolutely together. There is Pietro Fittipaldi. A lot of these cars look fairly similar in sort of dark colouring, but Pietro Fittipaldi in that striking red livery, very easy to spot. And it looks as if he's coming under pressure here from Joey Alders, because the Dutch driver getting quite close behind Fittipaldi, who goes defensive as they come up to the first corner, goes to the inside, and Joey Alders goes all the way around the outside. Now, can he make that move stick? It might be that he's gone a little bit too wide, but the next corner is a left-hander, and he's got the inside line for that. So Joey Alders back up into 5th position, overtaking Pietro Fittipaldi, who goes back down to 6th place. This is the battle for the lead. Jake Hughes in the lead, Jack Doohan in 2nd place, and Ukio Sasahara close behind Jack Doohan in 3rd place. The two of them reliving their ding-dong battle in race 1 here in, yesterday early evening. A titanic race-long battle between these two. And this time it's Jack Doohan in front of Ukio Sasahara, the Japanese driver doing the chasing this time as they come down to the turn 10 hairpin for the 3rd time. Jake Hughes still leading, Doohan 2nd, Sasahara 3rd, Mazepin in 4th, and that is De Francesco there going up inside Fittipaldi. So Fittipaldi losing another place there. De Francesco up into 6th place, Fittipaldi down to 7th. The Brazilian driver lost 2 places on that last lap, and as they come up the hill to the tight right-hander at turn 12, Fittipaldi looking to get that position back, but I think De Francesco has got it for the time being and starts to pull away from the Brazilian driver as they go through the quick kink at turn 13 before braking hard down to the left-hander at turn 14. This Dubai Autodrome, as with many tracks that have been built in the last 10 or 20 years or so, a very wide track and lots of tarmac runoff. So plenty of margin for error, plenty of opportunities for overtaking as well. It's not a narrow track where it sometimes can be difficult to overtake. But Hughes there still in the lead, Doohan in 2nd place, Sasahara still in 3rd place. The front three still very much together. There is Jake Hughes, the race leader. Jack Doohan in 2nd place, Sasahara in 3rd. Mazepin still showing in 4th. Joey Alders now back up to 5th. De Francesco in 6th position, and Fittipaldi down to 7th from 3rd on the grid. So Jake Hughes who finished this morning's race in 5th position. Had a disappointing run in race 1 here in yesterday's race, where he only finished 12th after dropping down the order quite badly with a bit of tyre trouble. But he's leading from the front here, Jake Hughes, and he'll be looking to score what would be his first victory in this 2020 F3 Asian Championship season. Joey Alders in 5th place, still very much the championship leader. He's won 3 of the 5 races that we've had so far, and the other 2 races he finished 2nd and 3rd. So Joey Alders, very much the man to beat in championship standings at the moment. Jake Hughes, somewhat a bit further down the order. He only has 24 points to Joey Alders' 108, but he'll be looking to get a maximum haul of 25 more points this afternoon. The maximum score available for winning a race, 25 points. 18 points for 2nd place, 15 points for 3rd, 12 points for 4th, all the way down to 1 point for 10th position. And Jake Hughes, with just about 8 minutes of the race having elapsed, is about to come round and start lap 5 here at Dubai. Round the final corner he goes, and Jack Doohan there looking as if he's getting a little bit closer. Jack Doohan did indeed take 0.4 of a second out of Jake Hughes on that last lap. Hughes' lap a 1:57.0, Doohan's lap a 1:56.6. So Jack Doohan closing on Jake Hughes at the moment. You can see visually the gap is slightly smaller than it was in previous laps, and Jack Doohan in the latter stages of this morning's race really going very well indeed, catching lots of other drivers hand over fist, and look how much closer he's getting there under braking to the back of Jake Hughes. Jack Doohan, a man on a mission in the early stages of this race. It looks like he gets much better drive out of those corners, and Jack Doohan really having a good race as they come through the left-hander at turn 9. Now he'll want good drive out of here, hopefully get into the slipstream of Jake Hughes. And Sasahara in 3rd place is being challenged by Nikita Mazepin as well. So there's 2 battles going on this long back straight at the moment. Jake Hughes looking in his mirrors, but Jack Doohan not quite close enough for a move just yet. I think Mazepin got past Sasahara just in the background there. Let's have a look and see if we can see. Well, it's difficult to see because those 2 teammates, their cars look virtually identical. I think I saw a flash of Mazepin's red helmet, very distinctive red helmet, just going up the inside of Sasahara, but we'll have a look and see later on. Meanwhile, this is the battle for the lead. Hughes and Doohan going at it hammer and tongs. Jake Hughes still keeping Jack Doohan at bay, but Jack Doohan, the young Australian driver, just 16 years of age, is clearly a man in a hurry as they go around the left-hander at turn 14. And Jack Doohan knows all about overtaking manoeuvres at that corner because he had a very dramatic moment there in yesterday's race with Ukio Sasahara. But they come round the final corner, turn 16 now. Jake Hughes with Jack Doohan right behind him now, almost tucked up on his gearbox, and I wonder if Doohan is going to make another move up the inside. It does, if you look back there, it does look as if Mazepin now is in 3rd place with Sasahara down to 4th, but let's look at the battle for the lead now, because Jack Doohan is very close behind Jake Hughes. He goes up the inside, and they touch wheels, and Jack Doohan spins out. Jake Hughes, his front left, touched Jack Doohan's right rear. I wonder if Jack Doohan can get going again, or has he stalled the engine? Well, no, he's found 1st gear and he's going again. I wonder if there's a bit of damage there, because that was quite a hefty hit. Those cars, those suspensions are not meant to deal with that sort of contact. But Jake Hughes living to fight another day. I wonder if he's got a bit of damage there, because Nikita Mazepin, his teammate, is right on him now. Jake Hughes slowing right down, and Mazepin now up into the lead. So Nikita Mazepin into the lead. Jake Hughes down into 2nd place, Sasahara in 3rd. So high-tech Grand Prix cars 1, 2 and 3 at the moment. Nikita Mazepin in the lead. Jake Hughes looks as if he's okay, still going at racing speed, but he's got Ukio Sasahara very close behind him now, and Sasahara needs to be careful because he's got his mirrors full of Joey Alders, and now he goes defensive. Joey Alders looking for a way past the Japanese driver, and Joey Alders himself now has got Devlin DeFrancesco in his rearview mirrors. So terrific racing here. These 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th place cars absolutely together as they go through at the top of the hill. The right-hander at turn 12. Nikita Mazepin now your new race leader. with Jake Hughes in second position, Ukio Sasahara in third place, Joey Alders fourth, and Devlin De Francesco in fifth position. 18.5 minutes of the race to go. And Joey Alders looking very racy indeed, looking for a way past Ukio Sasahara. Looks as if he's the quicker driver of the two at this stage, but as is often the way in motor racing, catching is one thing and passing is another thing entirely. Joey Alders, though, knows all about passing. He passed two cars on the very first straight of the very first lap in this morning's race to lead from third on the grid, and then he was never headed as he took his third win in 5 races in this 2020 F3 Asian Championship season. And that is Pietro Fittipaldi there going defensive behind Sebastian Fernandez, and Fernandez, the Spanish-Venezuelan driver, going all the way around the outside. Very good driving indeed from Fernandez, and he's shown that he is a driver who likes overtaking as well, because he had a very good race in second place this morning, having started 7th on the grid, and Sebastian Fernandez now up to 7th, and he started 16th today, so he's already overtaken a whole host of cars in just the first 12.5 minutes of this race. Plenty of overtaking action so far here in Dubai. This is tremendous stuff. Great entertainment for all of us spectators as the cars go round the banked left-hander at turn 9. That is the 33 car. That's Yu Kanemaru and Devlin De Francesco there. Yu Kanemaru, is he going up the inside? It looks as if Yu Kanemaru, just being pushed out there, Devlin De Francesco, and Yu Kanemaru now up into, I think, 5th position. So Kanemaru, the Japanese driver, has made a few places up as well. Breathless action here at the Dubai Autodrome. Hardly time to keep track of all the overtaking moves. We've had so many. Tremendous entertainment so far. Nikita Mazepin still leading the race. Jake Hughes still in second place, now some 2 seconds behind the Russian driver. And Sasahara still third, so high-tech Grand Prix cars still 1, 2 and 3 at the moment. And this then, the battle for, well, that is the 23 car. That is Joey Alders. That is Jake Hughes in second place. He's just ahead of Ukio Sasahara. Doesn't appear to be suffering too much after that early collision with Jack Doohan. Jack Doohan currently showing as down in 13th place after touching Jake Hughes and spinning out, but it does appear as if he's still in the race, and let's see if he can make up those positions. He's still showing in 13th place, but he's taken 2 seconds out of Tatiana Calderon, the Colombian driver who currently sits in 12th place. So Jack Doohan still making time as we look at Nikita Mazepin, and he's going very well indeed, taking 2 seconds out of Jake Hughes on that last lap. So Mazepin now with a very healthy 4.2 second lead over Hughes in second place. I wonder if Hughes is struggling a little bit with a little bit of damage, maybe a steering column having been bent, because he gave Jack Doohan a bit of a whack there. But he's still running, still in second place. Ukio Sasahara still in third place, and a train of cars behind them. Joey Alders in 4th place, Kanemaru in 5th place, and Kanemaru, in fact, now up into 4th position. So the Japanese driver having overtaken Joey Alders, and that looks like Fernandez just going up the inside of Joey Alders as well. So Kanemaru looks as if he's up into 4th place, Fernandez up into 5th place, and Joey Alders up into down to 6th, but he's just gone down the inside of Fernandez again. The two of them absolutely side by side now. Fernandez will have the inside line for the following corner, even though they go side by side. Tremendous racing here, no quarter given from either driver. Looks like they bang wheels. Fernandez and they're still going side by side. Fernandez takes the inside line for turn 14. Joey Alders going around the outside. Can he make that move stick? He just will not give up there, Joey Alders. Now he has the inside line, but Fernandez going around the outside again. The two of them side by side for several corners in a row. Great stuff from these two drivers. Great racing, firm but fair, no quarter given, but just enough room. And it seems as if Fernandez prevails for the time being. He crosses the line 5th. Joey Alders now down to 6th place, and Yu Kanemaru closing very closely up behind his fellow countryman Ukio Sasahara. Yu Kanemaru really having a good race so far. We haven't seen him at the front so far in well, either here in Dubai or in the championship as a whole. But Yu Kanemaru looking very racy at the moment. The two high-tech Grand Prix cars, Hughes and Sasahara, going quite a bit more slowly than their teammate Nikita Mazepin, who's taken another 1.5 seconds out of Jake Hughes at the moment. And there's a very big traffic jam going through there. That is Hughes, Sasahara, Kanemaru, Fernandez and Alders all absolutely together there. Yu Kanemaru there just having a look at Sasahara, but no way through there. And I wonder if now Fernandez is going to have a look at Kanemaru. It looked like Fernandez got out of that corner, turn 9, very quickly indeed. I wonder if he'll suddenly flick to the inside here as they go to brake. Well, in fact, it's Kanemaru who flicks to the inside to go defensive. Fernandez looking as if he wants to go around the outside. Is Kanemaru boxed in behind Sasahara? That's the question. But he lives to fight another day. Fernandez just getting up on the curb there, not able to get enough space to move past Kanemaru. It does feel as if, and there goes Joey Alders up the inside of Kanemaru again, a carbon copy of the previous lap, in which case it was Fernandez going up the inside. They go side by side again. Tremendous stuff from these two, really having a good battle, Fernandez and Joey Alders. And they're going side by side through the flat-out kink at turn 13. What's going to happen when they get to turn 14? They lock up, as does De Francesco behind them, just trying to avoid any sort of collision there. Fernandez still has the inside. Now they flick back to the right-hander. Alders has the inside line, overtakes Fernandez, takes that position back, and Joey Alders now up into 5th position, but it's not over yet. Is Fernandez going to have another bite of the cherry as they go onto the back straight? Joey Alders will cross the line in 5th position, and look at this. It looks like Yu Kanemaru is having a look at Yukio Sasahara. And is he going to have a look at Jake Hughes as well? And Fernandez looking up the inside of Joey Alders. It's all going on here. There is Yu Kanemaru just being pushed out wide there by Jake Hughes. He goes to the escape road. I wonder if he will have to give that position back, because he took that position by going on the escape road. Yu Kanemaru there up into 2nd place. And that is Sasahara, I think, in 3rd position. Jake Hughes looks as if he's lost several places there. Fernandez going up there. Joey Alders. I think that's Jake Hughes. I can't quite see if it's him or Sasahara, but one of the high-tech cars losing places hand over fist there. I wonder if that's Jake Hughes and maybe legacy of that early contact that's finally catching up with him. Yes, because that is the number 11 car of Sasahara in 3rd place behind Yu Kanemaru, who is now in 2nd position. Absolutely breathless stuff here at the Dubai Autodrome. Tremendous stuff. Lots and lots of overtaking. These cars passing and repassing each other. Fernandez is showing, I think Fernandez is now in 4th position, but to be honest, it's quite hard to tell. There's been so much movement over the last couple of laps, over the last few corners, and while we're focusing on all this, Nikita Mazepin is still leading the race, currently showing as 5.8 seconds ahead. I should think he'll be quite a bit more ahead now as when he crosses the line, because these cars behind him have been squabbling like nobody's business. And Fernandez is under investigation for overtaking under yellow flags. So Fernandez, the Spanish-Venezuelan driver, currently showing in 6th position, although we'll wait and see once the timing rejigs itself after they cross the line, because he may well be in 4th or 5th place. It's been very hard to keep track over the last few corners. Yes, Fernandez currently showing in 4th position, but he's under investigation for overtaking under yellow flags, so he may have to receive some sort of penalty. We'll wait and see. Meanwhile, Yu Kanemaru still showing in 2nd place. So no sign of any sanction or penalty against Yu Kanemaru for overtaking Sasahara and Jake Hughes in the previous few corners. And indeed, Jake Hughes is currently showing as being in the pits. So I wonder if there is some damage from that early incident with Jack Doohan. Jake Hughes in the pits there. And Ukio Sasahara in 3rd place now behind Yu Kanemaru. Meanwhile, Nikita Mazepin still leading the race, but he's actually lost a bit of time. His last lap, a 2 minutes 2. Yu Kanemaru in second place, a 1:59.4. So Yu Kanemaru is the man on the move here. Took 3 seconds out of Mazepin on that last lap. I wonder if Mazepin is running into a bit of trouble. Maybe a bit of tyre trouble. You can see a little bit of graining on his tyres there as we got a close-up shot as we look at Tatiana Calderon and Tommy Smith. Tatiana Calderon just going inside there. That is the battle for 10th position, and Jack Doohan is behind them as well there. He's in 12th place, looking to make up for lost time. Tommy Smith on the inside, Jack Doohan on the outside. Is he going all the way around? He gets pushed off the track there. It's very dusty offline, as you can see there. Jack Doohan kicking up a lot of dust and sand. We are in the desert after all, but it looks as if Jack Doohan might have made that move stick as they come down to the turn 14 left-hander. Jack Doohan now up into 11th place. Calderon in 12th place, and Tommy Smith losing out there. The big loser there from 10th to 12th in just a few corners. There is Jack Doohan ahead of Tommy Smith. And Yu Kanemaru has taken another 3 seconds out of Nikita Mazepin. Kanemaru, the Japanese driver, in second position. He is the man on the move. He's the man to watch at the moment. And lots of action further down the field. That is the 21 car of Fittipaldi being challenged by, I think, Amaury Cordeel. It's all go here in Dubai. It's hardly you hardly know where to look next. There's so much action up and down the field. Up at the front, Yu Kanemaru showing very closely behind Nikita Mazepin. I wonder if Mazepin was in tyre trouble, because the last time we saw him, it looked as if his rear tyres were looking a little bit worn. With just 7 minutes of the race still to go, he's still showing as being in the lead, but that will change, or that may change, when they go through the start-finish line the next time round. It will be very interesting to see if Kanemaru has managed to overtake Nikita Mazepin, and that is the car of Jake Hughes. Clearly there was some damage from that early incident, because Jake Hughes has now retired from the race. But look at this, that is Jamie Chadwick going up the inside of Mazepin, and that is De Francesco having a look up the inside of Joey Alders. That is the battle for 5th place. De Francesco goes wide. Amaury Cordeel is in there somewhere, and Pietro Fittipaldi, it looks as if he's taken 7th place back from Cordeel. The Belgian driver in the 18 car. Jamie Chadwick is the final driver there in the 15 car. She's challenging Cordeel now. 6.5 minutes of the race still to go, and this has absolutely whizzed by. There's been so much action up and down the field. There goes Jamie Chadwick side by side on Amaury Cordeel as they come through the kink flat out at turn 13. Cordeel will have the inside line for turn 14, and Jamie Chadwick going all the way around the outside, does she? Well, and she's got the inside line there for the next right-hander. So Jamie Chadwick ahead of Amaury Cordeel. Great driving from Chadwick. She's up into 8th position now, just behind this man, Pietro Fittipaldi, who is in 7th place. And Yu Kanemaru has indeed taken the lead from Nikita Mazepin. Yu Kanemaru now some 4 seconds ahead of Mazepin, the Japanese driver, absolutely flying in these conditions. By some margin, the fastest driver in the race at the moment. A 1:59.1 for Yu Kanemaru. Nikita Mazepin, a 2 minutes 3.3. So Mazepin losing 3 to 4 seconds a lap over Kanemaru, who is the new race leader. Sasahara still in 3rd place. Sebastian Fernandez still in 4th position. This is still Pietro Fittipaldi in 7th place. And wow, so much action up and down the field here this afternoon in Dubai. Tremendous racing. Jamie Chadwick and Amaury Cordeel having their own private battle for 8th position, just behind Fittipaldi there. Ahead of Fittipaldi, it's Joey Alders. No, it's not. It's De Francesco in 6th place. Joey Alders in 5th position. Fernandez in 4th place. Sasahara in 3rd. There is Nikita Mazepin in 2nd place. And look at his rear tyres. They look very worn indeed, especially his left rear there. You can see noticeably a different, darker shade on that rear tyre. And I wonder if he's just running out of grit, and that's why he's so much slower than Yu Kanemaru, who is absolutely flying with 4.5 minutes of the race to go. Nikita Mazepin, there is the 2nd place man, just going through the right-hander at turn 12. This is the kink at turn 13. And Yu Kanemaru has absolutely bolted. He is nowhere to be seen at the front of the field at the moment, and when he crosses the line, it'll be very interesting to see just what the gap is now, because I'd be very surprised if he hasn't extended his lead. Look, you can hardly see him as Mazepin goes around turn 15. Kanemaru is already up the road. He's crossed the line again, a 1:58.6, so another even faster lap from Kanemaru. You can't even see him as Nikita Mazepin goes across the line. 8 seconds the difference now. Kanemaru is 8 seconds ahead of Nikita Mazepin. The Japanese driver absolutely flying with just over 3.5 minutes to go. And well, we were certainly not expecting this from Kanemaru, who's not had a podium finish so far in the 2020 F3 Asian Championship. But whatever he's had for his lunch today, it's clearly worked, because Kanemaru, absolutely the star of this race at the moment. 8 seconds quicker than, well, 8 seconds clear of Nikita Mazepin, and pulling out at a rate of about 4 seconds per lap. A lot of these drivers lapping some 5 or so seconds slower than their fastest race laps, and I wonder if that is to do with tyre wear. But if it is, then Kanemaru is certainly managing his tyres very well. There he is. There is the race leader, Kanemaru. And if we look at his rear tyres, they look in much better shape than Nikita Mazepin. If you look at Nikita Mazepin's left rear tyre, you can definitely see a darker black stripe emerging on there, suggesting that he's suffering a bit with tyre wear. Kanemaru's tyres look in much better shape, and it does appear that that is the key to his success so far in this race, with just 2.5 minutes to go. Kanemaru leading handsomely now. The lead 8.1 seconds at the last count, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's even more as Kanemaru goes across the line for the next time. And he doesn't really need to be going this quickly. He's got such a lead now that he can really afford to stroke it home and look after his tyres, make sure everything is as it should be, not making any silly moves, just stroking the car home, bringing it home for what would be a very comfortable win. There he goes to start his 15th lap. Mazepin not even in the picture yet. Kanemaru really on a very consummate drive to victory at the moment. Mazepin still hasn't crossed the line. There he goes. The gap now 13.5 seconds. So Kanemaru 5 seconds a lap quicker than Mazepin and the rest of the field at the moment. A quite astonishing performance from the Japanese driver. We haven't seen anything like this from Kanemaru so far this weekend, or indeed so far in the championship. But he's really got the bit between his teeth at the moment, has Kanemaru, and I can't wait to hear what he's got to say after this race, if indeed he is going to win. I don't want to put the commentator's curse on him just yet, but he's certainly going very well, going great guns at the front at the moment. There goes Kanemaru. I expect we'll be seeing the last lap board shortly, because there's only just over 1 minute of the race still to go. Kanemaru on his merry way to what looks like a very comfortable victory. A slight lock up there on his front right tyre. He doesn't need to be doing that. He doesn't need to be going quickly anymore. He can afford to slow things down. He can afford to brake early, can afford to shift up early. No need to be risking things at this stage of the race. He's got a very handsome lead as he goes through the right-hander at turn 12. Kanemaru, who started the race in 9th place, worked his way up into the lead and has fairly rocketed away from Nikita Mazepin and the rest of the field since he got there. Now he goes down to the left-hander at turn 14. This the right-hander at 15. And now braking down to the final corner, the right-hander at turn 16. This is the final corner of the circuit. We haven't seen the last lap board just yet. Let's see if it comes out this time as Kanemaru. There we are. There's the last lap board. So Kanemaru, this is the last lap of the race. And it's another fast time from Kanemaru, a 1:58.6. He doesn't need to be going this quickly as he gets a little bit crossed up going through turn 1. But anyway, he certainly seems to be driving within himself, and he's taken another 5 seconds out of Nikita Mazepin on that last lap. 18.1 seconds, the gap between Kanemaru in the lead and Mazepin in second place now. And all the other drivers in the race absolutely don't seem to have an answer to the pace of Kanemaru. He's the only one lapping under 2 minutes. The quickest driver apart from Kanemaru on that last lap, probably Sebastian Fernandez, in fourth position at 2 minutes 1.7. And by the way, Fernandez is only 0.3 of a second behind Sasahara. So the Spanish driver will be looking for a way past Sasahara on this last lap. He made a few daring last lap moves earlier on this weekend. Sebastian Fernandez finishing third in race 1, second in race 2. And let's see if Fernandez can steal that last step on the podium from Ukio Sasahara at the moment, because he's going quicker than the Japanese driver. He's just 0.3 behind at the last count as we look at Yu Kanemaru on his drive to victory now. Surely there's no doubt about it. He goes around the right-hander at turn 12. This is the flat-out left-hand kink at turn 13. He'll brake hard now to the left-hander at turn 14, and Yu Kanemaru really has had nothing to worry about ever since he made his way past Nikita Mazepin to take the lead. He's been by far the quickest driver in the race in this second portion of the race since he made his way up through into the lead. A consummate drive to victory. He brakes hard now down to the right-hander. This is the last corner on the circuit, and Yu Kanemaru wins race 3 here at Dubai. An absolutely fantastic victory for the Japanese driver. Nikita Mazepin will finish in second place, but a long way behind. 18 seconds at the last count. He's not even come into the picture yet as the checkered flag waves. Well, let's wait and see where Mazepin is. There he is. Those are the second place, third place, fourth, fifth and sixth place drivers coming through. Mazepin takes second, Sasahara does indeed take third, and Joey Alders takes fourth ahead of Fernandez. So some interesting battles at the end there. It looked as if Fernandez was in shape to take third place off Sasahara. In fact, he's lost his fourth place, and Joey Alders has swooped in to take it off him. So Fernandez down to fifth. Devlin De Francesco finishes in sixth place. Pietro Fittipaldi in seventh. Jamie Chadwick eighth. Tatiana Calderon up into ninth place from 14th on the grid. And Amaury Cordial rounding out the top 10. Jack Doohan, a brave drive from Jack Doohan, up into 11th place after a very unfortunate incident early in the race where he tagged with Jake Hughes and lost a whole load of places. But Jack Doohan finishing in 11th spot. Alessio De Leda in 12th position. Tommy Smith finished 13th, and Thomas Ludi finishing in 14th position and winning the Masters category. Yu Kuai in 15th position, Paul Wong in 16th and second in the Masters category, and Jake Hughes, the only non-finisher, retiring what looks like after contact with Jack Doohan. But this afternoon belongs to this man, Yu Kanemaru. A tremendous drive, and indeed he was still 5 seconds a lap quicker than Nikita Mazepin on that last lap. The margin of victory 23 seconds. Absolutely astonishing performance from Yu Kanemaru, and it will be fascinating to hear him afterwards in Parc Fermé. Let's hope we get a word with him, because that was an absolutely astonishing margin of victory. He's waving to the crowd, and as well he might. That was a brilliant drive by Yu Kanemaru. His first win of the 2020 F3 Asian Championship season. In fact, his first podium finish. He's not troubled the top 3 so far, but a quite emphatic victory for the Japanese driver here this afternoon at Dubai. Nikita Mazepin equals his best result of the season so far with second place, and Ukio Sasahara takes his first podium finish of the season. He's had terrible luck so far, Ukio Sasahara, but his first podium finish of the season in third position. But there is Yu Kanemaru, the man of the moment. Absolutely brilliant performance from the Japanese driver. Some 5 seconds a lap quicker for several laps than everyone else in the field. He climbs out to receive the congratulations of his team, of his mechanics, and a fantastic performance from Yu Kanemaru. A quite exceptional drive. And there he takes the plaudits of his team, his mechanics, his engineers, and all the assorted well-wishers there. We'll hear from him shortly. So far ahead of everybody else that Mazepin and Sasahara haven't even come into Parc Fermé there. The top 3 drivers all take their places there. There is the 23 car, and Joey Alders will finish on the podium in third place because Sasahara is a guest driver. So even though Sasahara third on the road, it's Joey Alders who will be classified in third position. There he is, confirmation that the 23 car Joey Alders will be classified in third place. Nikita Mazepin, this man, the Russian driver, classified in second position. So Nikita Mazepin, from sixth on the grid, finishes in second place to equal his best finish of the 2020 F3 Asian Championship season. He finished second in Sepang in the second race of 3 in Sepang last month. Receives the congratulations from his team. Doesn't look delighted. Perhaps he was hoping that he might be able to gather his first win of the season here in Dubai. But there he is, finishing in second place. Joey Alders in third position, and he will be extending his championship lead because Jack Doohan failed to score, finishing down in 11th place. But unquestionably, the man of the moment, the man of the day today is Yu Kanemaru, and he's down there with Feline now.
Hey, Yu, congratulations, starting from P9 and finish winning the race and also 2 seconds faster than other cars. Tell us how you made it.
Definitely, our car had a pace from the beginning till the end, and I just had to believe it and push it until the end. And it looked easy from the outside, but I was fighting with every position, and I was pushing for every lap. So, yeah, thank you to the guys for the Black Hearts, and I'm happy with P1 and P3 for the team as well. Yeah, thank you for it.
Congratulations. 刚刚呢，我问到宇，他因为他是从第9位发车，而且在最后呢赢得比赛的时候还比其他车要快2秒的时间。他提到他也非常的开心，因为这个车的状况非常的好，让他能有一个非常好的表现。那么他也是非常的满意自己的车队 Black Arts 拿到了第1和第3的好成绩，也非常感谢他的车队给他一辆非常好的车。他也提到，虽然在外面看来这是一个看起来很轻松，但实际上他在每一个弯角都是非常的尽力。Back to you guys.
Well, the Black Arts Racing team have had a lot to celebrate so far in this F3 Asian Championship season. 6 races in, and they've won 4 of them. But this is the first one that's been won by Yu Kanemaru. It's usually been Joey Alders, the Dutch driver, who's been doing all the early running. He's won 3 of the 6 races so far, and now he is in the championship lead and extends that championship lead over Jack Doohan. But today, it's all about his teammate, Yu Kanemaru, who takes his first win of the 2020 season. You see the two of them there posing for photographs. It's been a fantastic afternoon's work for the Black Arts Racing team, first and third. Meanwhile, in the Masters category, Thomas Ludi won his own private battle with Paul Wong, the Swiss driver racing under the Hong Kong flag, finishing ahead of Paul Wong. You see those 2 cars just behind the victorious 3 there, the number 9 and number 44 cars. Nikita Mazepin, the sandwich, or the meat in the Black Arts Racing sandwich. Nikita Mazepin, the highest finisher of the high-tech Grand Prix team, after Ukio Sasahara, who finished 3rd on the road, but doesn't feature in the classification as he is just a guest driver. Jake Hughes had a very unfortunate incident early on in the race, clashing with Jack Doohan, and that seems to have caused some permanent damage because he was the only driver not to finish this afternoon's race. Alessio De Leda also finishing well down the order, not in the points. But today, all about the Japanese driver Yu Kanemaru, who told us there that he was pushing every lap. He said that it looked easy, but it most certainly wasn't. I wonder if there was quite a need to be pushing quite that hard, because he was 5 seconds a lap consistently every lap towards the end. 5 seconds a lap quicker than Nikita Mazepin in second place, and indeed all the cars behind him. But absolutely a dominant performance from Yu Kanemaru, head and shoulders above the rest here this afternoon. And he'll be hoping to carry that good form into next weekend's race at the Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi. Round 3 on January the 17th and 18th. Races 7, 8 and 9 of the 15-race 2020 F3 Asian Championship season. That's happening next weekend in Dubai, so no rest for any of the drivers, teams, mechanics, engineers. All of them will now travel from Dubai up to Abu Dhabi for the next round. Then we have a break of 3 or 4 weeks before we're back in Sepang for round 4, races 10, 11 and 12. And then round 5 the following weekend, February 22nd and 23rd at the Buriram International Circuit in Thailand, races 13, 14 and 15. Confirmation then of the provisional results. Yu Kanemaru winning the race in dominant fashion from Nikita Mazepin. And let's head to the podium ceremony to see the top 3 drivers now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're now having the podium ceremony for 2020 F3 Asia Championship, certificated by FIA Race 6. Now let's welcome our top 3 drivers onto the podium. The winner goes to Category 33 from Badass Racing, Yu Kanemaru. The second place goes to Category 3 from Haidt Grand Prix, Nikita Mazepin. The third place goes to car number 23 from Badass Racing, Joey Adams. Now let's invite Mr. Festival Arts, General Manager of Dubai Autodrome, to bring trophy to winners.
Congratulations. Thank you. Well done.
Congratulations. The second place goes to car number 44 from Let's invite Mr. David Gobi, General Manager of Shanghai, to trophy to winners.
So, after an absolutely breathless afternoon's action here in Dubai, it's Yu Kanemaru who takes the checkered flag for his first win of the 2020 F3 Asian Championship season. His teammate Joey Alders finishes third and increases his championship lead. Coming up next, we'll have the press conference for the top 3 drivers this afternoon.
first, congrats to all our winners. I would have a question for you. What race for you starting from P9 to the victory? Can you tell us how you manage it?
From the start, I think we gained 2 positions, and after that I just saved my tires till the end, and I think the strategy worked quite well. And of course the team had a quite good car from beginning towards the end, so I just had to push in the last few laps to maintain the gaps and stuff, so I'm happy for it.
Thank you. Nikita, we saw you leading that lost their pace. Can you tell us about your race?
It was quite fun for half of it, and I've hit quite a big cliff with the tires, and I think that's to do with me pushing too hard when I saw the cars fighting behind. Yeah, from mid part of the race, it was just about to keep the tires alive and have no explosion, and to get it to the end. I'm quite disappointed because I would say second weekend in a row, the tires have been very inconsistent between the grid and the cars, and I would say it's quite difficult for the whole teams to have such an unprofessional approach to the tires.
Okay, thank you. Jai, we know that you had a hard fight during the all race, but finally you are on the podium and score important points for your lead. Could you share with us?
Yeah, I'm really happy with the points. From the start was not the best. I think P5 through the fourth corner, and then the first couple of laps I just made the mistake to push too hard. I asked too much from the tires, so I could see the complete left side graining a lot. All the rubber shooting everywhere. So yeah, a bit too much aggressive overtakes, too many lockups. So from that side, I'm not really that happy. But overall, the team gave me a really good car. It had good pace. Maybe a bit more in the end, but certainly with the podium, really happy. So 6 races, 6 podiums. I don't think we can
Good job.
look bad.
Thank you all. Now let's take a group photo.